Hello, I'm back today with another project that I saw at the Dr. Samuel Mudhouse Victorian Christmas, but I'm not 100% sure that what they actually used was the applesauce cinnamon ornament, but it looks like it, so I think we can do it. Now, I make these every year, and I've got to make them anyway, so I figured we might as well go ahead and do it. Now, they made some as an ornament, and they also made some as a garland, and I will insert the pictures here. Now we're going to make these the same way no matter how you display them. And what I have here is a big bag of cinnamon, and then of course I have applesauce, and I have a bowl to mix up our applesauce and cinnamon. Some people use glue, and I did get some glue. Sometimes I use glue, sometimes I don't. You just do it the way you want to. Have something to mix it up. They made stars, so I have a star cookie cutter. And they used this red and white kind of twine when they made the ornament for the tree. This is just from the dollar store, the Dollar Tree. Now, I don't normally measure this. I just kind of throw stuff in and go from there. But since I'm making this into a video, we're going to measure it and see if we can come up with a decent measurement on the ratio of cinnamon versus applesauce. And then I have a toothpick just to make a hole to make it into an ornament. Now, this is what we need for the tree ornament. Now, if we're going to turn it into a garland, we need some twine or jute, cinnamon sticks, and we need dried oranges. And I dried these oranges in a 170-degree oven, that's Fahrenheit, and I mean, it just wasn't, they weren't drying. So I got impatient. And I put them in the microwave, and, well, I overcooked them. I actually burnt them. So you may want to be more patient with your fruit drying than I am. If you have a dehydrator, that would be great. Here's one. But that's okay. Most of them have a fairly good side that we can use for this project. All right. We also need a glue gun and some thin ribbon. And I think that's all we need. What I have here is a cup of cinnamon. I have a 1/4 cup of glue, and it's just white glue. And I have a cup of applesauce. Now, a lot of people say that you should use unsweetened applesauce, but I've made these for about 25 years, and I've never even paid attention to whether my applesauce was sweet or not. Does it make a difference? Maybe, but I've just never paid attention. And this is sweetened. So I'm going to pour, I don't know, about 1/2 cup in here. See what happens. Now I'm going to pour some of this glue. Actually, let's just dump it all in there. And I think we're going to need more applesauce. That was almost all of that. Sorry about the duck. I don't know why she's being so vocal this morning. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mix this up and then I'll see what we have. Okay, so I ended up putting all the rest of the cup of applesauce in, all the rest of the 1/4 cup of glue in, and then I added a 1/3 cup more of cinnamon. So this is 1 1/3 cup cinnamon, 1 cup applesauce, and a 1/4 cup white glue. Now, if you're not going to use the glue, and you don't have to, I would do equal amounts, a cup of applesauce and a cup of cinnamon. So anyway, I have this mixed up, and we have this beautifully smelling, wonderful dough. And I have a piece of wax paper here. Now, if you want yours to be all smooth and perfect, get a rolling pin and roll this out. But I tend to just push it down. I like the rustic look. So I just push it down with my fingers. Now, don't make this too thin. If you do, they will break. I realize it's going to take longer to cook or longer to harden since we're not making them super thin, but you don't want them breaking either. Speaking of cook, I'm sure you could probably bake these in the oven at a low setting until they dry. However, I always air dry mine. I don't know, that's about a 1/2 inch thick maybe. Okay. Now we're just going to cut it out. Take off this excess. And there's our little star. You don't have to worry much about this overhang here because it'll just fall right off once this dries. But there's our star. And using a toothpick, we'll just make a hole right about here. Don't make it too close to the edge or it may end up breaking your ornament. Now you do the exact same thing except for you put a hole here. Act like that hole's not there. Put a hole here and a hole here to make the garland. So the ornament and the garland are the same except for the holes because they threaded that jute through the 2 holes when they did the garland. So now we have to let this dry, and I will be back when it does. Okay, my ornament has dried, and this is the one we made together. See, there are the 2 extra holes. And it dried overnight, so not bad at all. Now to make it into an ornament, we'll just decide about how long we want our ornament to be. And let's tie these ends. Now we'll hopefully get this through this hole without too much issue. Now, of course, that wouldn't be easy. See if I can push it through. Using the back of an embroidery needle to push that through. Guess we could have threaded this onto an embroidery needle And that would have worked much better. There we go. Now we will just slip this knot through. And there we go. There's our little Christmas ornament. Now let's move on to the garland. Okay, for our garland, I have one of the little cinnamon applesauce stars with the 2 holes in it. And I have cut a piece of twine, and just cut it about the length that you want your garland to be. And I have wrapped a little bit of tape around the ends, hoping that will help me get this through easier, and then I'll just cut that off. So that one is through. Now let's just even this up. Okay. So we have our little star on here. Now I'm just going to flip this over, and I'm going to select some burnt oranges here. See what I can find. Okay, we're not going to worry about that. And then decide how far apart you want these to be. And I'm going to glue right across this orange. And I just realized that they put a star anise on the center of their oranges, but I don't have any, so I'm going to skip that part. I want this glued down really well, and you won't see the back. Now, for my cinnamon sticks, they seem quite long. I'm hoping I can cut them down with a pair of wire cutters. Oh, there we go. That worked well. I'm just going to do 2. And I'm going to glue these together. Now they used a thin ribbon to connect their cinnamon sticks to their twine, but I think I'm going to use some lace. I think it'll be more Victorian looking. And this is just the AliExpress lace I got. I just cut a length of it and then cut it down the center. So that is what I am going to use. And judge about where you want it to be. Then I'm going to get the center of my lace. And place that on that glue as well while it's hot. Oops, can't see. Let that glue dry, and I am stuck to my orange. Okay, let this glue dry a little bit before we turn it over so it doesn't adhere to the board. Okay, now let's flip this over. Now you add as many pieces onto your garland as you would like. But I think I'm just going to make a really small garland here. And I'm just going to add an orange and the cinnamon sticks on the other side. Well, maybe I will pull another orange, make it a little bit longer. And I think what I'm going to do with mine is hang little candy canes in between each of the items on my garland. So this side is complete. Now just repeat the same thing on the other side. Here is my completed garland. It's kind of hard to see it like this, I know. But of course I will take some pictures for you. But here it is, all done. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.